I'm Alex Morash, and let's quirk the USA view. Supreme Court upholds birthright citizenship in major defeat for Trump administration order. The U.S. Supreme Court has ruled 6-3 to preserve birthright citizenship, striking down President Donald Trump's executive order that sought to deny automatic citizenship to many children born on U.S. soil. The decision reinforces protections under the 14th Amendment and is expected to have broad implications for immigrant families, including LGBTQ families with immigrant parents. Trump's order would have prevented the federal government from recognizing the citizenship of children born in the United States if neither parent was a U.S. citizen or lawful permanent resident. LGBTQ advocates have long warned that immigrant same-sex couples, transgender parents, asylum seekers, and mixed-status families could face additional legal uncertainty if birthright citizenship were narrowed. For writing for the majority, Chief Justice John Roberts said, quote, "Citizenship then and now was the right to have rights, to freely participate in our political community. The framers of the 14th Amendment extended that promise to every freeborn person in this land. We keep that promise today," end quote. The ruling is seen as a significant setback for the Trump administration's immigration agenda and preserves a long-standing constitutional protection affecting children born to immigrant parents and LGBTQ people seeking asylum in the United States after fleeing persecution because of sexual orientation or gender identity. Well, it's nice to know that the Supreme Court can at least read basic English. I am not a constitutional scholar, I'm not a lawyer, but I did do poli-sci in undergrad and grad school. And in poli-sci Constitutional 101, they teach you this. The kids at undergraduate freshmen, so between your beer hungover, you learn things like, if you're born in this country, you're a citizen. Yes. This is like the most basic thing. I can't believe that we need to have a case for this. That being said, it is kind of a shame that they ruled this way because, you look at how the Republicans were talking about not just deporting a few people. They were, honest to God, they wanted to deport 100 million people. And I'm like, well, why don't the Democrats talk about, we see how we can now, in places like Florida, you can declare groups you don't like a terrorist organization. Why not declare the Republican Party a terrorist organization and deport its tens of millions of members to another country? I'm thinking Siberia.
Well, I think that this ruling is a fitting tribute to the 250th anniversary of the United States. But also, one of the reasons stated by the administration is that, birthright citizenship is a rare thing. It doesn't exist in countries. But here are the countries that support birthright citizenship: Canada, Mexico, Guatemala, Belize, Honduras, El Salvador, Nicaragua, Argentina, Brazil, Chile, Uruguay, Paraguay, and also Caribbean nations, including Jamaica, and, the sworn enemy of the United States, Cuba, Dominican Republic, Barbados, and others. And most of the countries in the Americas support some kind of birthright citizenship. But often the administration points to places like Europe and Asia where ancestry decides on the citizenship. For example, in China, if I go back to China right now, China can arrest me and treat me as a dissident because because of my Chinese DNA, I'll be considered a Chinese citizen regardless of where I want to pledge my allegiance. That's how it works. But for me, this ruling is a significant ruling because, for one thing, this time the textual, plain reading of the Constitution worked. Every time, remember, the conservatives like to blame judges to creatively read the Constitution so that, they can carve out things like rights, pro-life, pro-choice, Roe v. Wade before it was overturned, or Obergefell versus Hodges, which enshrined the rights of gay marriage. But then the conservative screams, "That's not in the Constitution!" And now that the plain reading of the Constitution supported our side, they are now saying that, how dare you read the Constitution in this original form?
Could there be any more joy-inducing words in the English language than significant setback for Trump? Well, isn't that beautiful? Let's just say it together.
Significant setback to Trump.
Yeah. And if I could just add, to complement what's been said at this table, interestingly enough, some people who've enjoyed birthright citizenship, so you wonder why this all started with the Trump administration, Marco Rubio, Usha Vance, Ajit Pai, Kash Patel, yes, Ted Cruz, Lori Chavez, Nikki Haley, just to name a few.
Yeah, it's a
Look at you, Larry. You've been like
Oh,
all feisty with your takes lately.
But guess who's also birthright citizen? Barron Trump.
Yes. Oh,
Because he was born
right.
to a foreign national.
There you
At least
go.
half of them.
Good point. Send them back.
Exactly. And you know, there is no other queer nonprofit media platform like this in the entire world. Support our LGBTQ stories by sharing them and subscribing to Queer News Tonight.